Hey everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive from the Morss Global Finance Podcast team. I'm John, and I'm here with Tiffany. Ready to unpack some fascinating insights on a topic I think you're going to be curious about. Gold as an investment. Specifically, we're taking a deep dive into Acre Gold, a company that's trying to shake things up with their unique subscription-based model. So if the idea of owning gold has always intrigued you, but felt a bit inaccessible, well, this one's for you.
That's right. While traditional gold investments can feel a little intimidating, especially with the upfront costs of buying bullion or setting up a gold IRA, Acre Gold seems to be targeting a different kind of investor.
So let's get into it. Acre Gold launched in 2018 with a mission to make gold ownership more attainable. And they've partnered with a prestigious mint to ensure they're dealing with the highest quality gold. Certified 9.999 fine, 24K, which arrives sealed for purity. But what's really catching people's attention is their subscription model.
Exactly. It's a novel approach. Instead of requiring a large initial investment, they offer a range of monthly subscription options, starting as low as $30 a month. It's almost
Yeah.
like subscribing to a streaming service. But you're accumulating gold instead of movies.
Okay, I have to admit that's pretty clever. So let's say you choose the $50 a month plan. What are you actually getting for your money?
With that plan, you're essentially saving up for a 2.5-gram gold bar. Now, if you were to buy that bar outright, it would cost you around $265. So what Acre Gold is doing is allowing you to spread that cost over several months.
I see. So in a way, it's like a forced savings plan.
Right.
But instead of just accumulating cash, you're building tangible gold asset.
Mhm.
Is there a benefit to this compared to, say, a gold ETF?
That's a really interesting question. While a gold ETF offers exposure to the price of gold without the hassle of physical ownership, there's a certain appeal to holding the real thing. Some investors find comfort in the tangibility of gold, especially in times of economic uncertainty.
That makes sense. But what happens when you finally get enough gold to redeem a bar? Does it just show up on your doorstep one day?
Well, there's where things get a little more complicated, and it's something potential investors need to be aware of. Acre Gold does offer international shipping, but it comes at a cost, which varies depending on how many bars you're having shipped.
Right, because we need to talk about the details, like shipping and cancellations, before we can really assess whether this is a viable option, especially since we saw some mixed customer reviews out there.
Absolutely. It's important to look at the full picture. While Acre Gold has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, indicating they're generally responsive to customer complaints, the average customer rating is surprisingly low, just 2.15 out of 5 stars.
Whoa, that's a pretty big discrepancy. What seems to be the issue?
Well, digging deeper into the customer reviews, we found some recurring themes. And it's not what you might expect. It's not about the quality of the gold itself, which is consistently praised, but rather about the logistics. The most common complaints revolve around shipping delays and communication issues. Some customers have reported waiting months for their gold bars, and they express frustration with the lack of updates from Acre Gold during those delays.
That's concerning. I can see how that would be a major drawback, especially if you're excited about receiving your gold and building your collection. It seems like the anticipation could quickly turn into frustration.
Exactly. And this brings up a key point about investing in physical gold versus other gold investment vehicles. While there's the undeniable appeal of holding a tangible asset, you also have to contend with logistical challenges like storage, security, and in this case, shipping.
Right. Those are factors you don't have to worry about with the gold ETF, for example.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the cancellation policy. What happens if someone decides they want to pull out of their Acre Gold subscription?
Well, their policy states that you can cancel anytime before receiving your gold, and you'll likely receive a refund. However, once you've received the physical gold, it's yours to keep. No returns.
Okay, so that's something to consider carefully. You're essentially locked in once you receive that gold bar. That's quite different from selling shares of a gold ETF if you need to liquidate your investment.
Precisely. So while Acre Gold might be appealing for its accessibility and the novelty of building a gold collection, it does come with certain limitations and risks that potential investors need to understand.
It sounds like there's some trade-offs to consider.
Oh,
On the one hand, you have this low barrier to entry and the satisfaction of owning physical gold. But on the other hand, you're dealing with potential shipping delays, limited liquidity, and you might end up paying a premium compared to other gold investment options.
that's a fair assessment. And this brings us back to the fundamental question: who is Acre Gold really for?
Right? Who is their target audience?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like they're going after the seasoned gold investor who's looking for the most efficient or cost-effective way to gain exposure to the precious metal.
Exactly. They seem to be targeting a different demographic altogether, perhaps someone who is newer to investing, attracted to the simplicity and tangibility of gold, and willing to accept certain trade-offs for that experience.
It's interesting, they even have a whole line of merchandise, hats, hoodies, t-shirts, you name it. It almost feels like they're trying to build a community around gold ownership, almost like a lifestyle brand.
That's a great observation. And that strategy might be particularly effective with a younger generation of investors who are used to engaging with brands on a more personal level.
Okay, so we've explored the subscription model, the shipping and cancellation policies, and the potential downsides. But we still need to address the elephant in the room, the price of gold itself. After all, isn't that the whole point of investing in gold? To potentially benefit from its price appreciation.
Absolutely, and that's where things get a little more nuanced. While gold is often touted as a safe haven asset, it's important to remember that its price can fluctuate significantly, just like any other commodity.
Right, it's not a guaranteed return by any means. So even if you're diligently building your gold stash with Acre Gold, there's no guarantee that those bars will be worth more in the future than what you paid for them.
And that's why it's crucial to consider your overall investment goals and risk tolerance before jumping into any gold investment, whether it's through Acre Gold or a more traditional method.
So for our listener who's considering dipping their toes into the gold market, perhaps intrigued by Acre Gold's approach, what are the key takeaways here? What should they be thinking about?
I think the biggest takeaway is that Acre Gold offers a unique and relatively accessible entry point to the gold market, especially for those who are intimidated by larger upfront investments or the complexities of gold IRAs. However, it's essential to go in with a realistic understanding of both the potential benefits and drawbacks.
Could you elaborate on that a bit? What are some of the key things to weigh?
Certainly. On the positive side, Acre Gold's subscription model allows you to gradually accumulate gold over time, which can be appealing from a budgeting perspective. And for some, the tangible aspect of owning physical gold provides a sense of security and satisfaction that you might not get from a paper asset like an ETF.
But as we've discussed, there are some potential downsides as well.
Right, yes, absolutely. It's important to factor in the potential for shipping delays and the limitations of their cancellation policy. You're also essentially locking in your purchase price at the time of each monthly payment. So you're not benefiting from any potential dips in the gold price that you might be able to take advantage of.
With other investment methods.
And let's not forget the customer service concerns that we saw reflected in those online reviews. While Acre Gold might have a good track record with the Better Business Bureau, it seems like they have some work to do in terms of communication and transparency. With their customers, that's a crucial point. Ultimately, any investment decision should be based on thorough research and a careful assessment of your individual financial goals and risk tolerance.
So for our listener who's intrigued by the idea of Acre Gold, what's the next step? Where should they go from here?
I'd encourage them to visit the Acre Gold website and thoroughly explore their offerings. Read through their FAQ section, examine their different subscription plans, and pay close attention to their shipping and cancellation policies. And most importantly, perhaps even reach out to their customer service team to get a feel for their responsiveness and see if any of those concerns about communication have been addressed.
That's great advice. Get a sense of the company, how they operate, and whether their approach aligns with your investment style and comfort level.
Exactly. It's all about finding the right fit for your individual needs and goals.
Well, Tiffany, I think this has been a really illuminating deep dive into the world of Acre Gold and the evolving landscape of gold investing. It's definitely given us all a lot to think about.
I agree. It's fascinating to see how companies like Acre Gold are trying to make alternative investments more accessible to a wider audience.
And to our listener, we hope this deep dive has armed you with the knowledge and insights you need to make informed decisions about your own investment journey. Remember, knowledge is power, especially in the world of finance. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep investing in your financial future.